Welcome back to Playing with Food. I'm your host, Liz Corbett. And now it's time for some show and tell. Dressing up your table does not have to be complicated or expensive. To go with our seafood and tropical appetizer, I have simply collected a few things from my summer decor from my home and put them on the table. And I am joined by a very special friend of mine. Her name is Betel Arnold. Hi, Betel. Thanks for being here. Betel is...
I'm so excited.
She is a co-host and co-producer of the show Simply Talking, which is where we met.
Yes.
And you have a new book out called Buried Beneath the Words.
Yes.
Would you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yes, I'm really excited about that book. Very, very excited because, you know, sometimes we do things and we have no idea why we do them.
That's true.
And that happened in my own life, and I had to really stop and take stock of some of the things that I did. You know, and I realized that as young children, there are a lot of negative words that are spoken over us. And sometimes we take those negative words and we wrap them around ourselves. We wrap them around where the real you is buried beneath those words.
That's exactly true. And what a perfect name for that. You are so right. One of the things that we need to do, I think, is figure out a way out from underneath that.
Definitely.
And we don't want it to define who we are for the rest of our lives.
Definitely, because you know what? If you are buried beneath those words, it's going to manifest itself some way, somehow.
It is. It's going to come out, and sometimes when you least expect it. One of those ways that it comes out is people talking about entertaining at parties, people feeling uncomfortable. I talk to so many people, and they say, well, I really couldn't do that. I don't want to have people in my home, or I want to, but I feel uncomfortable or intimidated. Do you find that that's true for most people?
You know, I think that it is. I think that it can really be intimidating, because if you are not confident about who you are, if you're not standing on solid ground, and you're having people come over and you are overly concerned with how your house looks, if you have to go out and start shopping and buying stuff just to make your house look good, or your food has to be just perfect, you need to stop and take stock of that. You know, because like you said to me a few times that you love to entertain. And many people want to entertain.
They do.
But if they're not comfortable with who they are, and their house has to be just so, then there's a problem with that. Because entertaining is not about that.
It's not about that. And as much as I love food, and as much as I love fixing everything up nice, you're so right. It's about making people feel comfortable in your home. And you can do that when you feel comfortable with yourself.
Definitely.
Very true. It does not have to be intimidating. You know that I like to laugh and I like humor, and that helps for me to just lighten up and take a kind of a lighter look at myself. We're going to goof up. We're going to make mistakes. Things are going to fall off the table. I actually turned the oven off in the middle of baking a cake one time.
You told me that.
Yeah,
you told me that.
Which is a special thing. Did you ever have an awkward moment like that? And what did you do?
Let me tell you something. Before that awkward moment that I had, there was a time when I entertained and I had to hire somebody.
Oh,
That's how insecure I was.
Really?
Yes, I hired somebody because remember, everything had to be just so. But you know, I've done a lot of work. I've done a lot of work in myself, and my faith plays a big part into that. So because of when that happened, the incidents where I had to laugh at myself actually happened. I was having a gathering at my house, and the woman said, where are your bowls? And I said, bowls? She said, yeah, bowls. And I thought she was talking Chinese or a different language. It was like, yeah, bowls. And I looked at her, I said, I don't have any bowls. And she said, you don't have any bowls?
What'd you do?
I said, no, but remember, I've been working on myself. And I said, no, I don't have any bowls. And I just started laughing, and she started laughing, and then it was a big joke. You know? And since then, I've realized that, you know what? People can come over. I can entertain. It doesn't. Things don't have to be perfect.
No, they don't have to be perfect.
You know why? Because I no longer have to be perfect.
Exactly. Guess what? We're all imperfect.
Definitely.
Secrets out.
Yes.
And there's no need to get stressed out about it. And that's why I'm trying to show how to do things that are simple. And what you're adding to this is so important. You really have got to take a look at, like you said, stop. I like that. Why are you getting stressed out?
Right.
There is no need to be stressed out, and figure that out. Work on that, whatever you need to do to make yourself feel more comfortable. Remember that everybody else is feeling the same way.
Exactly.
They're all feeling a little intimidated. And honestly, if somebody kind of messes up, I feel a little bit better. And if I do that, I think, well, at least they feel better about themselves.
And you give people permission, because if you are Little Miss Perfect, and then you invite me to your house, I'm like, oh, I can't invite her over my house. She's perfect. No.
Yeah, well,
you know,
guess what? No.
That's why I like coming to your house. You know?
And I got to share one of my top tips. This is what I do.
Yeah.
This is a sparkling punch. I saw you noticing that.
Yeah.
Again, easy.
Okay.
We have some lemon lime soda in the bottom.
Okay.
And I would go with a pitcher drink when you have your guests over because, again, always offer water. For everyone, and do what I do. We call it fancy water.
Yeah,
fancy water.
I'm interested about that.
You know what? Just slice up some lemons and limes and throw them in your water. Then it's fancy water. It just looks a little nicer. You know, put it in a pretty pitcher.
Yeah.
And people will be all impressed. This is a drink that has a little bit of sparkling wine in it, a Moscato. You can go with something kind of sweet. I've already got some limeade concentrate in there, and I've already got some lemon lime soda. So if you just want to pour some more bubbly in there,
I'll pour some bubbly.
All
Do you want me
right.
to, how much?
Well, it's up to you, Betel.
Okay.
But it's just those three simple things and
All
slice
right.
up some
You tell
lemons
me
and
to
limes
stop.
together.
I mean, I might just
This
pour the
could
whole
get
bottle.
awkward because I might,
Okay.
yeah.
Is that good?
Maybe a little more.
A little bit more?
Yeah, a little bit
Okay.
more.
Yeah.
But you're so right. Find some ways to make it less stressful for yourself.
Definitely.
Enlist the help of your friends. Have some friends come over. Maybe you've got one particular friend that's really good at, I don't know, sweets or desserts or something. Try to delegate, get other people to help you out. You know, have somebody, if you've got little children, do some trading with friends for babysitting. You know, have the kids go to another house. Whatever you need to do to relax.
And I think also you have to keep your menu simple.
Exactly.
Simple.
That's
you
a
don't
really
want
hard one for me.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but you know what? I've seen you create just something spectacular out of nothing.
Out of nothing.
I mean, I've seen you do that.
But it's true. It really is true. It's kind of like magic tricks. I mean, you really, you know, a couple of ingredients. It's all about visuals and how you display it. And it's about your attitude, too. You know, if people come over and you feel festive and, you know,
and comfortable.
Comfortable. You know, play some music. Here's my best tip ever.
Tell me,
if you're
please.
feeling a little intimidated
Yeah.
about your house, have an evening party. Turn off all the
Turn off
lights.
the lights.
and then
Light
just
all the
and
candles.
then just light candles everywhere. They'll be a little concerned when
my
they first
gosh.
walk in. But you know what? That's my best tip ever because things disappear in the dark shadows and they're not going to see it.
I just have to say something. If you invite somebody over your house and you're really concerned about what they're going to think about your house, don't invite them. I'm sorry.
know,
That's what I would say.
Okay, that is the best tip of the day because when people come over to your home, they are coming over to see you.
Right.
And if you're getting worked up, tell me if you agree on this.
Okay.
If you feel like you have to go that extra mile to impress that person,
right.
you might want to kind of stop and think about, is this a person that you really want to be spending a lot of time with? Because we should be encouraging each other.
Yeah, I think
not
you
making
need
each other feel uncomfortable.
I think you need to do two things.
Yeah.
Yes, I think you need to stop and analyze yourself and check and make sure you're not buried beneath certain words. And also, I think that if you feel like you have to impress that one person, you really need to analyze, recognize, and maybe not invite.
Yeah, it's true. And sometimes a smaller guest list is better.
Easier.
And it's easier, but invite those people that you really, really want to spend some time with. I have another question for you. We talk about the words that you said are said over us. I kind of like that image of when we're younger, and it can be a positive thing and a negative thing. What are the kinds of things, and I know you know this, what are the kinds of things that we as women should be saying to each other to encourage each other?
Well, I really think that it's really important that we remind each other of who we really are. Remind each other, when I look at you, what a beautiful, talented woman you are. And continue to remind ourselves because sometimes we are our own worst enemies and we, continuously put ourselves down. And that's why we need some good girlfriends to say, no, honey, you got it all together. I like how you did that. You're talented. Point out, instead of speaking negative words, now your girlfriend should speak positive words into you. I'm going to speak positive over you. I'm going to say you're talented, you're wonderful, you're doing a
I'm going to take you everywhere.
I'll go.
I'm just going to take it like a miniature version of you everywhere I go because you are that kind of a person. And it actually does two things. It helps the person that you're with, but it brings you up too.
Right.
It brings you up too. And the words are so, so powerful, whether they're negative or whether they're positive. And you make some really, really good points about things that we need to do. People might say, well, what does that have to do with entertaining? It's everything to do with entertaining and having people in your home. Because it's all about being comfortable and feeling welcome. Have you ever been in a situation where you go into someone's home and it just feels a little off or a little awkward? And it could be any number of things.
Well,
they're feeling stressed or intimidated.
Well, you can pick up the energy, you pick up the atmosphere. You know, especially women, I think women can really sense what's going on.
We're really good at that, aren't we?
We really are.
We've got these little radars going. We can pick up on it.
Yeah,
you make some excellent points, Betel, and thank you so much for joining me. I can't wait to dig into these because I'm really hungry.
I'm so excited. I know. I want to have a little bit of this
She's
too.
going to have a little bit or a lot of it of that. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for
here.
having me.
You're so welcome. You're home. Betel Arnold offered us some very important advice for opening your home to friends and family. I had a lot of fun showing you some tasty recipes, and I hope that you will join me for future episodes. For today's recipes or for more information on the show, go to playingwithfood.tv. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time on Playing with Food.